Hey YouTube, Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Magnolia Cardfight Vanguard Overdress deck profile for post-awakening of Chakrabarthi. The Magnolia deck was definitely a pressure deck that focuses on having some of your units attack from the back row, and it just gets even stronger with Magnolia Elder, the grade 4 for the deck, adding more strength and power to all of your rear guards, and then giving intercept options to the back row as well. With some of the additional support we got from the Awakening of Chakrabarthi set and some of the other promos we've got, it definitely makes for a much more consistent and scary deck altogether. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profiles. So for the ride deck, we're still sticking to the standard ride deck, the Sylvanhorn Beast slot for the starter, which is the one when 1 second. If you 1 second, draw a card. Like all the other starters, the grade 1 is Sylvanhorn Beast Charis. When this unit is rode upon by Sylvanhorn Beast Latisse, you may reveal the top card of your deck, and if it is a grade 2 or less unit, call it to rear. If not, put it into your soul. So if you do reveal one of the other Magnolias, at least it will go into your soul, which can be used then for added options like calling out to rear guard when you ride the grade 4. Our grade 2 is Sylvanhorn Beast Latisse, having the same skill as Charis except for a soul blast, and if you don't call it to rear, you can at least put the card into your hand. The last card is the grade 3 Sylvanhorn Beast King Magnolia. You only run one copy of this card in the deck, since the grade 4 is definitely the one you want to see the most. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards, and until the end of turn, this unit can attack from the back row, and it gets plus 5,000 power. This is all added on to even more consistency in the deck with the addition of the grade 4, which is Sylvanhorn Beast Emperor Magnolia Elder. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, choose a card from your soul, and you may call it to rear guard. So you have the options for your Latisse, your Charis, because you will use the Soul Blast, so most of the time Soul Blast a lot. For the Latisse, when you ride on top, you want to keep the Magnolia and Soul, because if you have one or more cards in Soul or on your rear guard with Magnolia and its card name, all your rear guards can attack and intercept from the back row and get plus 5,000 power. So if you call this to rear, there's a chance it could be potentially retired, and then you won't have the option with your grade 4 anymore. You do have the play to obviously call another grade 4 to rear or ride onto a new one, but until you do that, you're just lacking that one turn because of it. But obviously, if you know you're going to ride another grade 4 the following turn, then you could potentially call out the grade 3 to the field. For the other grade 3s we run in the deck, I just run 3 additional Sylvanhorn Beast Eldrans on rearguard when this unit attacks. If 2 or more units are in front of this unit, it gets plus 5,000 till end of battle. If there are 3 or more units, you soul charge 1. So it's just an additional attack from the back row rearguard, especially with the grade 4, giving you the additional plus 5. It can be attacking for 23,000 in total, and have soul charge options to potentially get another Magnolia into the soul for you to use. For some of the other new cards from the latest set, I am running 4 of the Sylvanhorn Beast Panthero. When this unit is placed on rearguard, Soul Blast 1, choose a Sylvanhorn Beast Panthero from your drop zone, and call it to an open rearguard. So with your Magnolia grade 4 giving plus 5,000 power, it can be a 14k attacker in total to use against your opponent. So you can call 2 of these to the back row, and then have both of these be separate attacks against your opponent to use. And when this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Magnolia and its card name, it gets plus 5,000 till the end of that battle, making it 19,000 power in total. So all the better for pressure with this card, being able to hit at least against the 13k power that your opponent's Vanguard will more than likely be. And for some of the other grade 2 options, I also run 3 of the new promos, Sylvanhorn Beast Empics, from the back row on rearguard when this unit gets plus 10,000 power. And if you have 3 or less rearguards, all of your rearguards in the same column as this unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effect. So a more protection option for those rearguards, as long as you have the 3 or less rearguards in the same column. So it gives you more protection plays, but also having a plus 10,000 power means that along with the plus 5 from Magnolia, this card is reaching 23,000 against your opponent alone. Even if they do get a trigger, you still have the attack, meaning if you have the Panthero set up, go with these attacks first and then save the Empex for last if that's the only power boost you were given that turn, aside from any trigger effects. For some of the lower numbers, I also run 2 of the Sylvan Beast Gabreg. If you don't have any of the MPEX promos, I know they're a little hard to come by, you can always add more Gabreg into the deck, making a full number of 4 for this, and then adding the last MPEX for the next card up on the grade 2 count. With Sylvan Beast Gabreg, when your other unit in the same column as this unit attacks, Soul Blast 1, this unit gets plus 10,000 till end of turn, and choose all of your opponent's rear guards, and for that battle this unit attacked, your opponent cannot call cards with the same grade as their chosen unit. So the more different grades they have on the field, the much more difficult of a card guard it is to go against the other card that was in the same column. So if you have Gabreg in the front and then MPEX behind, you can attack with MPEX and then have that guard restriction along with the enormous power this card was given. And I also run 2 of the Sylvan Beasts, Geonosia. Now this one adds additional power from the back row to another rear guard, so just all the more additionally well strengthened for the deck, because you can use Magnolia Elder for the +5 and then have whatever other power you gave on to Geonosia for the additional added numbers. Now once again, if you didn't have MPEX, you can choose one of the numbers for MPEX or even go 4 for that count and then just run 3 Gabreg. It's a player preference at that point, with the last of the grade 2s being 2 of the Spurring Maiden Alenia. When this unit is placed on rear guard from hand, counter blast 1, soul blast 1, choose a grade 2 or less from your drop zone, call it to rear, and it gets plus 5,000. Just a good way to replenish your rear guard numbers using this card, because you can call out additionally anything to any specific spot on the field and set up all the different grade 2s for you to attack with on your Magnolia Elder Vanguard. Now moving on to the grade 1s, I'm running 2 of the Sylvan Beast Kosi. This is more of a unit to provide additional boost or attacking numbers with Magnolia Elder. This unit cannot be ridden and can only be called to the back row center rear guard. So with it, you can provide the boost 15,000 power to your Magnolia Elder, or even more, since it'll give it plus 5,000. So a pretty big number to hit, or if you just need that additional attack, another option to use from the back row middle rear guard. And the only other grade 1 that I run in the deck is just the Sentinel Planner Prevent Dragon, having the same option. If you only have the 2 Planner Prevent Dragon in your hand, guarding with the 1, having 1 card in your hand, means you can guard the final attack without having to have discarded anything for the cost for any of these 2 Sentinels. And then for our normal orders, I am running 4 of the Wild Intelligence. You play it with a counter blast of 1, discard 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 card with the same grade as your Vanguard or lower from your drop zone, and call it to rear. If your Vanguard is Sylvan Beast King Magnolia, choose up to 2 cards instead of 1. So you will want to set this card up with Sylvan King Magnolia. That's the only thing that you'll have to have the 2 of, so you can at least do it on the ride for this card. Otherwise, if you have your Magnolia Elder, you'll only be getting the 1 call instead of the 2. So make sure you set up your rear guard additionally, but still a counterblast 1 for just a free call of a unit from the drop zone. And then moving on to our grade 0s for our trigger lineup, I'm running 4 criticals. So the Aspiring Maiden Alana, just as the additional plus and soul build up for this critical spot. And 4 of the draw triggers, Serene Maiden Lena. Now this is good because draw triggers definitely do help, because you want to give a good number of the powers you get to the back row. So running this just gives us those additional options. I do run 3 of the front trigger because you don't want to neglect any of the power that your front row could potentially get, and that's where the Frenzied Heiress comes in handy. And lastly, the 4 heal, just sticking to the Sylvan Beast heal as the most fitting heal trigger for the deck. And lastly, the 1 Blessed Savior as the over trigger for additional pressure, along with power to the front row and healing a damage. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. We finally got through all of the main decks that were released from Awakening of Chakrabarthi. So finally we can focus on maybe mixing up some of the different playstyles for the decks, or some other cards to look into for updating any of the other ones. I know I've been wanting to mix around with Overdress a little more, so we'll see what we can do. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.